while, yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Mick we probably need.
Just strike a match to it.
Thanks for that.
We don't have to move it.
Right.
That was just a joke.
Still
Yeah.
married after 20-some years.
All right, that's always good to report. Okay. I'd like to call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for April 10th, 2023 to order, please. Roll call.
David,
Here.
Bill,
Here?
Joyce,
Here.
Andy,
Here.
Ross,
Here.
Becky.
Here.
Totally went out of line on that one.
All right,
All's present.
excellent. Let us go ahead and do, David?
Lord, thank you for another beautiful day you provide for us, Lord. And Lord, as we got in the Easter season, if you're wonderful, as you told them all, I would return, and you will return one day for all of us, Jesus. And be with our council tonight, and also for Andy as our acting mayor, and be with our citizens and our law enforcement with your touch of your great healing hand. In Jesus' wonderful name, amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, everybody. May I please have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the council meeting held on March 27th, 2023, please?
Have that motion?
Thank you, David. Ross?
roll call. David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yep.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Sorry.
Was there a? That was a yes, right?
Yeah, it was a yes.
We're all together in this
It was a
canoe. We're all together in this canoe as we're going over
I don't know
the
what
falls.
made me
That's
say
right.
that.
Been a busy day.
All right, we do not have a mayor report. However, I will say that we are thinking of the mayor tonight. She is facing a difficult week ahead, and we are thinking of her and her family at this moment in time. And we look forward to having her back in full force in a very near term, in a very short future. And for those of you, please send good wishes to her. Now is the time. So thank you for that. President Pro Tem report. I have a lot of committee comments to make, so I'm probably not too much on this other than happy to see a lot of activity in the village over the last 10 days in particular. We got a little quiet in the weather. Boy, are people out fixing stuff up. That means our own crews are out fixing things up as well. We have a lot to tackle from leftover winter stuff like potholes and cleanup, and I think our guys are doing an outstanding job. Our village administrator is going to talk here in a little bit about some new equipment we've purchased, which are really going to make a difference. I also think that clearing out some of the deferred maintenance on the equipment that we have today has really aided us, and we're going to get on top of some delayed maintenance here going forward, which is really important for spring as weather continues to be unpredictable. So with that, I'm going to shift gears a little bit and look for public comment. I don't believe we have any public comment. I see nothing in the book tonight. No visitors. All right. We do not have an executive session tonight, so let's go ahead and shift gears to law enforcement. Let's get an update from Sheriff's Department.
All right, you got the nature report in front of you. Does anybody have any questions on it?
Can you explain to me what an animal complaint might be?
Dogs that lose.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So anything like that.
All right. Things are moving around right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have any questions on that? April 22nd is our annual drug take-back day. It's from 10 to 2, and there'll be deputies out here to collect your unused prescription drugs that you want to get rid of. So that's April 22nd.
All you got to do is drive through, right? There's no, you
No
just
questions, just
drop them off.
Hand the bag out the window and away you go.
Bag.
I remember that last one they had. Yeah.
So
There was enough for a
I've
great.
had boxes.
yeah, I believe you guys have done well, haven't you? You guys have done well the last couple of years. It's
Yes.
been really good for our village.
Yes. Mount Sterling, we've been doing more than London.
They were really busy last time. I remember I was there. There was enough stuff there for a Grateful Dead concert, man. There was everything.
But you gotta understand, when somebody passes, that.
How
all
do you
that
do
has-
it, right? How do you take care of some of that stuff, right?
Right,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that's the way they can get rid of
Oh,
it.
that's all right.
I do have one comment. I was advised today about some chickens back in town. This is not a cheap chicken thief thing and whatnot. If you watch Andy Griffith.
I'll leave that over there.
But I did find them.
Yeah. You got pictures?
I didn't get pictures. I just pulled up the alley and
Had some.
just so happens the rooster said, hey.
Yeah.
So,
They have a tendency to give themselves
Yeah,
away.
just a kind reminder to everybody, no livestock in the village.
right.
Kind
So-
reminder to everybody, it's spring, we get it, but no livestock in the village.
And then the last thing is the camper at John and Main Street. I've been working with them since the last council meeting. They're having trouble finding suitable places to put it that's close because they're gonna be using it. So I've got them in touch with Beetle Potts, lives
Okay.
out of town.
Yep.
And so it should be gone here soon.
Thank you.
We're grateful for that, thank you very much.
All right, any questions?
I see you have an ATV complaint. I know we've been having a lot of, I haven't yet to call the sheriff, but that may be happening soon. We've been having a lot of ATVs going down the road,
Usually just one at a time.
a couple at a time.
Potentially a couple at a time, yeah.
I know exactly where they came from. 'cause
Sun-
I know
sun-
exactly where they're going. Yeah,
Sunset, that's.
Yeah,
where-
right about right after
over
sunset.
there,
Yeah, I caught one when I was sitting there at the church,
Yeah.
and he just came by riding a wheelie. Like,
Hey, Jack.
want to walk home or?
Hey, Jack, did they catch that one suspicious person in the neighborhood, Doug, and everybody?
Yes.
The hoodie guy?
Yeah, it's a resident.
Okay,
He was having marital issues,
okay.
was just walking. He thought he was being followed, so that's why he was acting kind of strange,
Yeah.
but I found him and everything's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Any other questions for Joe tonight?
awesome. Let's
Thank
move
you
on.
very much. Have a great night. Okay, I don't believe we have a law director's report tonight. Misty is not tonight. She's next time. Village administrator, come on down.
Acting Mayor, Council. The big news of the week is we got the Durapatch machine, and then we got our training on it. It came up from Texas, and the guy spent a day with us, training us on how everything works on it. So we're good to go. We're confident that we can run this machine and start filling some of these potholes. So I would ask you, if you see the guys out working, give them some room, and don't get so upset if they got a roadblock, because it's not going to take them long to fill these potholes once they get on one. But we're going to do our best to get them all done here this summer. So I know everybody's got their favorite pothole out there, and we're going to do our best to get them all done.
So what does this machine do? So you've talked to the streets committee about it, but for the residents, what is the machine?
Machine is a two-man operation, and it's self-contained. They'll come up to the patch itself, and they'll fill it with a preset that'll adhere to all the stone that they'll put in there. It fills it up with stone. Everything's set inside the machine, and then it fills it back over with an adhesive that's
Okay.
going to keep it
Sealed.
sealed so it doesn't go south on us right away. Please don't try to drive on these right away. Give them, if you can. You don't know how long they've been there. I realize that, but they should set within a half hour. They should be good to go. So
That's cool.
that's the big news.
We love it.
Fantastic.
We love it.
It's going to
Very
save
much.
money, all right.
Great job.
Okay.
We got a big event coming up here next week that Councilwoman Martin will speak on regarding Arbor Day. That's going to be a big event, and we'd like to invite everybody here to join us that day. She'll give you all the information here. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Tom tonight? All right, thank you very much. That's a great update. Very cool about potholes. Building and zoning. I don't believe we have a building and zoning update.
I did speak to them today, though.
Okay. Well, we can circle back on that when we get to planning and zoning and all that. So that sounds great. Fiscal officer, do you want to shift gears on that
Yeah.
one?
So I attended a training a week ago with LGS, which is Local Government Services, that I'm required to attend. A lot of informative information, a lot of things that me as a seasoned financial officer had learned a lot from. That is a training that's offered once a year to all financial officers in the state of Ohio. So that took up a lot from last week, making sure that we were attentive and, but it was a really good training service that they provide. As far as the financials, I didn't receive anything back from anybody or questions. Like I reported before, is that you will see some new vendors. I don't want to be a broken record, but the spending will probably increase as we start to get through spring, summer, and sometimes fall. So we just need to continue to have finance monitor the budget, monitor the spending, and make certain that we're not over budget or spending out of budget. So we just need to pay most attention to that. I also have a bank reconciliation that I'll be passing around here to everyone. You'll see adjustments that have been made. That was a return check from the water department as an NSF. Everything's been balanced, nothing more, nothing less than a penny at all. So everything has been, governed here and managed. And I think Andy will talk a little bit about finance, but everything seems to be running smooth, but a lot of spending that you'll start to see increasing. As the weather starts to develop. So if I can ask for a motion, if there isn't any questions, I would ask a motion for the approval of the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary report, the reader report, and the approval of the bank reconciliation for the month of March.
You have that motion.
You have that second.
So that was David.
David and Joyce, thank you.
And Joyce. Okay, roll call. Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Okay, so I will be circulating 3 pieces of documentation around. If you could please write your signature on there, that would be great. And I think that's all my report.
Wonderful, thank you. So shifting gears to committee reports. Finance Committee did meet this morning at 8 a.m. I'm sorry we had to reschedule that to today. It was the only time everyone could kind of get things juggled around in the schedule to get together. But we did meet this morning and went through the finances for the first quarter. Yes, as Courtney has said, spending is picked up. Late December, January, early February, not so much in the spending, actually quite a bit below. However, that said, weather has broken a couple times. Things have gotten a little looser in terms of our ability to get out and do stuff, and so spending is picking up. We will stay on top of that and make sure that we also start looking at our capital improvement plan in closer level again. We need to make sure that that is completed. We have gotten 2 drafts, and we're almost done. And something like the DuraPatch machine would be almost number 1 on that list. So that's good that we were able to get it and keep it pointing the right direction. So on that note, remainder of the meeting was to pay bills and get everybody organized in terms of the next quarter. So we have to set all the paperwork up in advance. And the next committee meeting in terms of that will be, can't even believe I'm saying this, May 3rd at 2:30 p.m. That's the normal time. We had to meet at 8 a.m. this time. And that's it, if I don't have anything else. Okay, Pleasant Township. David?
Yes, we had our meeting last week, and our own Joyce Phillips attended the meeting with us, and she explained about the cleanup weekend to them, and hoped they would take some minutes. I'll let her tell more about that. And The main discussion was about the spring mowing as they prepare for the mowing season. They talked about the Burr Oaks is having some problems there in Burr Oaks, and they're going to check into that. And also, they talked about still purchasing of maybe a new truck. It's still up in the air. And so that was the main points and everything. And I got to say one thing for Joyce. She did a wonderful presentation there, and she'll tell you more about that.
Very good, thank you very much. All right, speaking of Joyce, squad?
I spoke with Chief Taylor today and introduced myself. We're kind of sort of neighbors, so I know he knows Mick. I don't know if he knew me or not. But we stopped and I said hi and told him that I would be coming to the meetings, and the next meeting, my first meeting will be Wednesday, the 12th at 8 p.m. So I'll have a report for you at the next council meeting.
Great, upcoming meeting, thank you. Fire, Ross.
We attended a meeting on 3:30, and David said that they're having a tour soon of the solar fields
Oh, okay.
in case they need to get extra equipment appropriated, and for the solar people to find out what they're going to be able to contribute to the
Yeah.
specialized equipment. And they just also spoke of adding ADP payroll to their ability to keep everything paid correctly. They're checking into a bank sweep program with their banker so they can pull money in and out faster for, like, when the new fire truck is ready, they won't have to try to appropriate funds. They'll have the funds there, but in the meantime, they can draw some larger interest. And they said there's 17 runs ahead of last year at this same time. And last year was a record, so they have been quite busy.
Let's hope they stop being quite busy.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah,
when
we
they
think
have
of-
to
we-
run, somebody's life changes.
That's right, we think of our boys and then we really, and gals, and really, really, really don't want them to have to go on runs like that, yeah. Thank you for the update, excellent update, thank you. Water, wastewater, Joyce.
We will be meeting on Wednesday morning, the 12th at 8 a.m., and I'll have a full report on at the next meeting.
Wonderful, thank you. Streets, Becky.
Yes, we just had a meeting at 6 o'clock today. And as Tom told you, the big news is the Durapatch truck is up and running. As Tom said, we will get to the potholes as we can. They're going to make a priority list. If you do have potholes that you think we haven't noticed, of course you are welcome to send that information to Town Hall, but be patient. We have a very small crew, and be patient, but we will get to them. And I think, we're trying to pay some attention to some alleys. We've had some complaints about alleys. We're trying to give a little gravel and things to some of the alleys. So, we are with you. We want these things to all happen. Just, give us some time. And I think, other than that, we did talk about a couple other specific projects, but our next meeting will be Monday, May 8th at 6 o'clock.
Great, thank you. Also, Parks and Recs.
Okay.
How about
That's
that?
me too. So, some of the things that we had that meeting today at 5 o'clock, we wanted everyone to know that we will be purchasing some mulch soon for the existing playground. It's pretty much, muddy and the mulch is gone away. So we are going to be paying some attention to that and getting some mulch out there. We have a lot of upcoming events I'll talk to you about, which includes movie nights. I do want to make an amendment to the movie nights. We had before talked about May, June, July, and August. Unfortunately, some of our committee is going to be out of town in May, so we are going to move that night into the summer more. So we'll squeeze another movie in. So we will have June, July, and August, the last Saturday of the month for movie nights, and we did pick out some fun movies. And we'll have special speakers and prizes at those events too. But some of the upcoming events I want to just touch on really quick, as long as I didn't lose my notes on that. Okay. As Tom mentioned, and I'll mention it again in trees at the end of the committees, we do have an event April the 21st at Mason Park, an Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration. We will be planting 2 trees up by the Ball Diamonds. We'll have a flag raising ceremony. The children from Madison Plains, 3rd graders, will be mulching around the 2 trees, and then they will be continuing their day on at the community center, where we will show the Lorax, which talks about the importance of trees, and we'll be providing them through different donations lunch. And then the very next day, April the 22nd, if you want to see some softball, Madison Plains will be hosting a softball tournament. I believe that's for middle school age girls, and that will be a really fun event to come out to if you want to see some Saturday softball. And then April the 30th, our own Mount Sterling Youth League will be having their opening day. And they're going to have all the teams will be out there. They'll have a special first pitch program, and they'll have concessions and door prizes and raffles and things. So if you want to see some baseball, softball, t-ball that day, come out. And there'll be a lot of people. And one of the things that we have noticed our park is lacking in right now is parking spaces when all those fields are full. So please be very careful and slow with all those little tiny ones running, and so excited. So we'll probably, as long as everything's dry, provide some extra parking in grassy areas, but just, I guess we'll deal with that then. And then it's a little ways out, but I do want to remind everyone another nice event that we do out there. May 12th will be the United Methodist preschool graduation out there. So the little ones ride their bikes and trikes and get their little awards, and it's a great night. So we have a lot of fun things coming up at the park, and some of those things I'll touch on in different areas, but that's all I have for now. And our next meeting will be May the 8th at 5 o'clock. Oh, I do want to real quick say we are very close to establishing the layout for our new playgrounds that will include swings, all different kinds of swings. Those may not, dependent on when all those products can get in. Right now, there's kind of a backlog on those, but look for in the next several months some swing sets, different kinds, to be going up at Mason Park. So we're excited about that. That's all I have.
Thank you. There is no opening day like our opening day.
Right, exactly.
Our opening day. So looking forward to that one. So that's great. Records retention. We did meet last Friday, had a great time. I mean, you all, for whatever reason, you don't want to turn out. And I love it. I love it. I don't know why. Actually, we have a great crew, and thanks to everybody who's volunteered. If anyone is remotely interested, come on down. It's only 8 a.m. on the first Friday of the month. We do cool stuff. It is part of history, and honestly, it is a good time. So we do have a good time. The next one will actually be May 5th. Again, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's first Friday of the month, like I said. And again, thanks to all of our new folks who did volunteer and stepped up to be a part of the group. So thank you very, very much. All right, nuisance and abatement.
We have met. We have gone over some tags that were issued, which I believe there were 4 that Jack issued for us. I have to say, majority of those have been resolved. I sat with Courtney last week as well. We made some phone calls, or she made some phone calls, and we went through the list and cracked some things out. And I was a little surprised, but very pleased at the willingness that some of the people, the willingness that they have to work with us, including the campers on the streets and et cetera. So we're moving in the right direction for that. We don't have any tags to deliver this week. Next week, we might be looking at a few. I'm noticing a couple of places still have furniture on the porch, and we'll give you a call, and hopefully we can reach you to discuss it. One porch has been cleared of it, so I appreciate that. And I think that was Misty. Misty helped us out with a nuisance issue as well, because she knew the landlady. So, teamwork is amazing, and we've been doing a good job with that. So I want to move on to the cleanup day, cleanup weekend that we're having, April 28th, 29th, and 30th. We met with Jeff Persice from the Nazarene Church, and we're putting our teams in place. He does have a couple of people from the church that will be here on Friday as well to help us. We're going to try to do as many pickups as we can on Friday, so that Saturday and Sunday the church can focus on, further assisting some of the people in the village and meeting their needs with some, they've asked that it be just yard waste. I know there's a lot of yard debris from some of the storms we've had. I'm working on a possible solution to that, so hopefully I'll have more to report at the next meeting. We do have the mulch secured. That's being donated again by Devin Cooper, and we're very grateful for that. Metaview has been added to the list. I had, Billy Martin from the American Legion has graciously agreed to donate for the flowers again this year. So, and Courtney offered to once again go get the flowers and get them delivered back to us and place them where they need to go. We are going to meet again this coming Friday at 11:30 and try to finalize some more things. But I wanted to, lastly, I wanted to report, I did, as David mentioned, I went to the township trustees meeting last week. I was able to, in a nutshell, ask them for their willingness to partner with the village on, and the church for the cleanup weekend, to especially target Burr Oaks and McClymansville. I hope I'm saying that right. The village, they're not in the village, so we can't go there and pick things up, is my understanding. We weren't able to last year, so I'm to understand that's the same thing this year. But my thought process was, if the township trustees could join forces with us, even for just one day, and if they could target those two areas, that would solve a huge issue. Because personally, I get a little beat up because we don't include them. Well, we want to include them, and the church has graciously offered to go to those areas and do those pickups or cleanups for us, and we're very grateful for that. But I was really hoping that the township would step up. And as of today, I've not heard anything back from them, so I don't want to make any assumptions they're not going to, but I'm not going to hold my breath either. I will reach out to them one more time. I will make a phone call, and if I still get some of the comments that I got at the meeting, then we'll just call it a day, and be very disappointed at the township trustees. So, nice guys, I'm sure they work hard doing what they need to do, but this is a very important project that we have joined forces with the church on, and it means a lot to me to keep it going and to include our neighbors. So hopefully we can work something out. People keep asking me about tires. Hopefully I'll be able to post something on social media very soon to partner with someone to maybe pick up some of the tires that can take care of that. I have a couple of names to reach out to. Jeff is also contacting the schools, Madison Plains and Westfall. I haven't heard back. I'm sure I'll get a report on that Friday. I did meet a young lady at the trustee meeting, the township trustee meeting, by the name of Sarah Mead, who graciously offered to volunteer a group of young youth that she and her husband work with to come down and assist us. So I will be giving more detail on that again at the next meeting. Are there any questions?
I think that's a pretty darn good report. But you'll take any and all resident volunteers too, right?
Betcha.
So all you gotta do is raise your hand and phone into town hall, just be here, be square. We're gonna have a long weekend of it. We're all gonna be out. And you'll take anybody who can assist in any way, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You don't need to load pickup trucks. You can do lots of different things during the cleanup day.
You can pass out water.
You can do, absolutely.
Pick up trash.
Pick up
Yeah,
trash.
Absolutely,
there's
any
stuff to
part of
do,
it.
Yeah.
We
Lord,
have-
Lord knows we've had 60-mile-an-hour winds 5 times this
We
spring
have.
already, and there is enough for every resident to do. So please consider volunteering.
We also would
Get out
like
here.
to target, I want to call some residents next week in regards to the fence line. Some of the fence lines, and everything looks horrible in the fall and winter. I mean, when you get out of the beauty, away from the beauty of the color. But I've noticed even last summer when everything was green, we have some places, and they might be elderly people that can't get out there, or maybe they don't have a trimmer. I know ours went on the fritz after David mowed. Mick went out to trim, and both of our batteries are dysfunctional. So I understand these things happen, but I would like to partner with some of these residents and see if we can't take a trimmer and maybe clear some of that at their fence line for them. We won't go on your property without permission to do anything like that, so I don't want anybody freaking out and saying, stay off my property, I like my weeds, so.
Right. No,
Which
for
is
sure.
fair, I guess.
No, for sure.
So, I'm hopeful that this is gonna be another, very successful event, and, we can again, proclaim, along with the Arbor Day coming up after that, then we can also proclaim ownership pride in our village.
Absolutely. No question about it. I would like to reinforce thanks to the Legion for the flowers, among many, many, many other things that they do. And it's small stuff like that that makes such a huge difference to the village and makes it feel like home. It makes it feel like spring has happened. It makes it feel like people want to stay here and people want to come here and be a part of our village. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your donation in that respect. All righty, safety block watch. Bill.
We had our meeting, I can't remember exactly what the date was, but it was last week. Done a lot of talking about just a few things. We didn't talk about a lot of stuff, but we did a lot of talking about a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
We was talking about the ammonia plant down here, the what ifs of a train derailment. And actually, surprisingly enough, I was unable to get any information from the EMA. Oh, yeah, that's, I was unable, they're working on something right now, they told me. So I wasn't able to get anything at all from them. I sat down there and talked with them for about an hour, week before last. But we're working on it, not that if anything happens that any of us are going to run anything, but we could, knowing what's going on, we could, to know what's going on, we can make ourselves available to help out. And we talked about the new distracted driving law. I was going to ask Deputy Dill if he could explain what they're looking for. Are you guys?
If you have your phone in your hand,
So my understanding from reading the electronic signs going up I-71 that it's pretty clear. If
Yeah,
you
that's-
have the phone in your hand, you'd be now pulled over for it, just like if you have a seatbelt violation, right?
Do they give you a warning, like a 6-month warning?
they're, the first 6 months of the new law, it's all warning. And then after that, it's one offense, then a enhanced offense, and then a double enhanced offense. So,
Yeah.
So I had heard, maybe I heard wrong, that you could still talk on your phone. You just can't text. Is that not true?
yeah.
No.
You can't talk.
And not even have it in your
hands-free.
hand.
You can-
Now, when you're stopped at a red light, is it true that then you can answer a phone call or no?
They say, the law says you can, but I'm under the assumption that every time you, if you're behind the wheel and it's in drive, it's an operable vehicle, it doesn't matter if you're stopped at a light to me. If you got your
I
phone-
mean, which one of us or residents have been blown past by a reckless driver?
Oh, yeah.
Looking,
Many.
texting,
Many,
right?
many times.
Many times. And so, I'm kinda, I don't know about anybody else, I'm kinda done with it. And
Yeah.
now we're at a place where we got ability to do something about it.
And it's just not citizens. If you look into patrol cars, sheriff,
I've seen-
highway patrol, police,
Yeah.
every one of them's always on the phone, always.
I used to
Well,
follow a highway
we're-
patrol.
We are,
I used to follow highway patrol up 56 for a long time when I was, before I retired. And she would be on her phone
Every day.
every day. She's coming through here, going towards London, every day. She's on that phone, stayed on that phone.
we hold ourselves to the highest standards, all I'm gonna say about that. And I appreciate that this is here, and I think I'm done with it. I'm kinda done with
Be
it.
tough on
So,
Batman.
I'm gonna hate it.
thanks for the update.
I'm gonna hate it if I get a ticket, but
Yes.
I totally agree with
Might
why.
save a life.
I've been rear-ended in my, last year, my 2010 Toyota RAV4, I got hit. I'm almost certain she was on her cell phone. And several years before that, I got rear-ended up on 62, just before you go down the hill to go up to Harrisburg. And that girl was on her cell phone, riding my behind a little close. And I had to hit the brakes, and she plowed into me going 55 miles an hour. And
I'm just wondering if this is not gonna increase the distracted driving, because reach over and text while the phone's
Yeah.
not down, not paying attention.
I've had, well,
Well,
this
we'll see.
last 3 days, I've had people come left to sit on me twice. And I had to, bad enough to where I had to move over.
I was in a crosswalk just a couple of weeks ago, getting ready to cross, and this person on his phone, and I almost came a hood ornament.
Was it built?
Batman, you just jumped out.
I got pretty quick.
Then we also, then we also discussed the ATV situation. We have people wanting to ride ATVs down the road.
It has happened on the weekends during the day, but in the evenings, it seems to be time for the ATV.
And actually, yesterday afternoon, I observed right over here on the right in front of the gazebo with the light, a teenager on a dirt bike going down the sidewalk. Not long after 12.
Long hair,
Yes,
he was taking it in the shop. Didn't look
he
at
probably should have been pushing it.
Yeah.
He should have, but
In any case, yeah.
Just saying, but
We're just saying that there are some resident complaints that we've received, and
but the ATV, I know where they're coming from.
okay,
And
And-
they're not from in town.
yeah. Let's just be clear. You can't ride your ATVs in town. Go find a piece of ground and go ride your ATV.
Excuse me.
Right, you
Bless
can't ride
you.
it on the roadways.
Yeah, can't ride on the sidewalk.
I'll talk to you after the meeting.
But in any case, we fielded some polite requests around that one, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that was on the list.
we done a lot of talking, but that's only just a few of the subjects that we covered. That's all I got.
Thank you, Bill. Planning, we held an organizational meeting 2 weeks ago, and looking forward to getting that off the ground. We did not have any business other than just getting the committee organized, and so nothing was immediately before. So we're going to go ahead and wait. Our next meeting will be, I believe, April 25th is the regularly scheduled meeting, so we'll have to make sure that there's business for that. In case anyone's wondering, that is officially the fourth Tuesday, and I'm looking over at Courtney to make sure that I'm right.
Yep.
That's the fourth Tuesday of the month. So if you have items for planning, we sure take them, and we will get them organized.
Do I have an example of an item that you would bring to planning?
Sure, growth of village immediately comes to mind. What about a business that changes to the zoning map, for example, which is different than zoning, so we'll get the zoning here in a second. And let's say a business wants to build a big facility here, and they need permission basically to do that, and that would go through planning.
Wonderful, thank you.
Or a change of use maybe would be a better example. So if something is one kind and needs to be flipped to another, it would go through planning.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Zoning, my partner.
Yes. So it was my first meeting. It was an organizational meeting as well, but we did actually have one piece of business. So we met last week and we did approve one fence variance. So it's kind of the things I'm being told in zoning are fences and
Yep.
different things like
Permits.
that, permits. So it's kind of interesting to get into something new. But we have no applications on the books right now, so we're not going to have a meeting unless we would get applications. So again, if you have anything you want to build or add on or repair and you're not quite sure if, just come into town hall, get an application, ask a couple questions, and then we'll know if you need to apply for a permit.
Yeah, and just call, we have, phone numbers out there. We contract with, the Village of West Jefferson that handles all the questions, so if you have any questions, they would be the people that answer
Yeah,
them.
they process them for us, they turn them around, they appear at all of our meetings, they're us. And so they do a great job. I think that for the last couple of years in our old structure, we approved most everything and it went through really, really well. So I'm looking forward to having a great year and more to report here shortly. All right, Beautification and the Tree Committee.
Yep. So I did mention the Arbor Day event. So again, the 21st at 10 a.m. We're also, we're not just a tree committee, we are beautification, put that in our title. So we are also working with a master gardener at Madison County. We've been working with him for a couple of months trying to get a plan to some of our different gardens. The gardens at the Veterans Square across the street and actually along Town Hall here up against our building. It's kind of want, and so we're going to add a little bit of color and some more perennials, some different kind of grasses and things. So we have a really good plan that he's working for us, and we are currently working. Darby Creek Nursery is giving us some really good prices on these 2 trees we're going to plant this week, and hopefully some good prices on some perennials and different things. And we're grateful to them, but we will have a meeting this Thursday at 1 o'clock right here in Town Hall. But make sure you're on time because we're going to have a really brief meeting, and then we're going to head out to the park to get those trees in the ground. So if you want to help shovel a hole, the holes might already be there, I don't know. But if you want to see those going in the ground, you're sure welcome to come out to the park about 1:30 probably.
What kind
And
of trees we get?
we are getting, it's a sterling silver linden. So we are kind of tying the name of the tree, and it's a really good tree. We have some really smart people that we're working with that know all about what works well in a community and what's good with what insects and all that. So a lot of people smarter than me that are picking out trees, but we were excited that we were getting these sterling linden
They're
trees.
pretty remarkable. When you see them, they're literally on the flip side of the leaf, it looks silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty, when you see them blowing in the wind, they're pretty amazing. I've seen them before. They'll be cool when you plant them.
Yeah, so that's the 2 trees, and we'll actually have, our first trees at the park, other than the ones all the way back on the fence line. So we're excited about that. So the ball players in a couple years, the parents will have a little bit of shade and some more vistas to look at. So
Oh, yeah.
we're excited.
That's awesome.
So again, Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Perfect. All right. We have no other committee reports tonight, so we're going to move on to ordinances and resolutions.
Okay, the first is, on the second reading. This is Resolution 2023-03, a resolution authorizing the mayor or her designee to execute a renewal of the village's property and liability insurances. Again, council had received this large packet of property and liability coverage, and this would be on the second reading.
May I have a motion to place this on the second reading, please?
I'll give you that.
Thank you, Bill.
Second?
Thank you, Becky.
Bill, Becky?
Mm-hmm.
Roll call, Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
passed on the second reading.
All right. Next one.
The next one is a resolution, 2023-06, a resolution authorizing the mayor or her designee to execute an agreement with Madison County's Land Bank. This is on the first reading.
Yeah, the side comments that I would have about this is I'm super excited about the possibilities for the land bank. This is at a county level. It helps clean up blighted properties, things that have been abandoned. And frankly, we can't do it all. Each municipality can't do it all by ourselves. And the land bank has more resources, can apply for state and federal funding as well, which helps do that. The idea is not to own these properties long-term. The idea is to clean them up and put them back into the community for reuse. So if you all have driven around town, and I'm pretty sure my neighbor and I know exactly a couple that we are thinking of immediately when this comes to mind. And so I'm excited that the fact that Madison County is getting a land bank, we don't have one today, we got one, and that there's possibilities for cleaning some of this stuff up. We've been fighting for a long time over these properties. They oftentimes sort of hang in limbo, and this helps move them along a little bit. So I'm excited that this is going before council and it'd be placed on the first reading.
I definitely know that one is a raccoon hotel.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
they-
know
they
a
check
few.
it out.
We know a few like this, and this will. It's not instant, but it does work, and they do help. If anyone wants to read about them, wants to talk to me about it, I'm happy to tell you more what I know. But I know that Franklin County and Fayette County have benefited from both of them, and Madison County can absolutely benefit from one as well. And our community is obviously going to be right center of that. So, all right, can I have a motion to place that on first reading, please?
I'll give you that motion.
Thank you, Joyce.
I'll second.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Joyce, Bill? Roll call, Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And Joyce?
Yes.
That's passed on first reading.
All right, thank you very much. All right, turning to Roundtable. What do we got for Roundtable tonight?
I like to bring up the American Legion just gave a good donation to the Mount Sterling Library
Ah.
recently. And,
Awesome people.
and the Legion program has really helped the community. And we reach out to a lot of different people. And Saturday night, if you want to take your chance and play bingo, they're going to have bingo again Saturday.
Is it every month?
Well,
at this
it's
time?
usually just the first of Saturday of the month.
Okay.
We're having a special double header. You get
Oh,
to
okay,
play
all right,
Saturday. So,
all right.
so it's a great, if you just want to take your chance and talk to yourself, you don't bingo, it's the way to go.
W9, David,
And,
W9,
But it's a
just
lot of
remember
fun
that.
for a lot of people, and it draws big crowds. And then I got to announce,
I
two
for.
special people are having birthdays in the next 10 days.
Oh.
One of them is sitting
Who,
beside you.
who would that be?
And then the other one's sitting right here.
That's right,
Yeah, so we're the April kids, and the birthdays sneak up on me, and Courtney will only be 30, so she's
That's
all
right.
right. So,
29.
I'm pretty sure it's 29, David.
okay,
Pretty sure it's 29.
that's all I got.
Thank you. Other items for Roundtable, other announcements, what you got going that's good?
I just want to thank the community center and everyone who partnered up with them for the egg hunt on the 1st. It was nice. We took our little granddaughter out there, and it was a really great event. They had a lot going on, a lot for the kids. And then I also want to thank everyone that put on the Michael Starr egg hunt just this past Saturday. It was really nice too. They had a lot going on, and we took our granddaughter to that too. And it's just really heartwarming to see, everyone trying to do more and more for our kids and have more things available. So I just want, everybody to know how grateful I am that, they're giving back to the community and doing all this nice stuff with
It
kids.
makes you feel good that there's 50 kids out and they can hoover up candy in
Yeah.
10 seconds or less. I mean,
yeah.
it makes you feel good. Makes you feel good.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, anything else for Roundtable tonight? That makes you feel good. That makes you feel good. Nothing else. All right, well, weather report, weather's gonna be good this week. Get out, do stuff, enjoy our village. And on that note, I think we're adjourned. Thank you.
We had Dave Miller's mix been so sick.
I'm sure.
He's finally turned it.